like our fascia, that webbing kind of around our muscles, our arms, around our organs, and we get kind of tight or don't feel like we can stretch as easy. We may have pain when we're stretching a little bit. So we want to kind of keep our body moving and kind of being able to reach out as far as we're comfortable. And sometimes we may have maybe tightness in a shoulder, or we might feel tight in the lower back, or anywhere in our body where we feel a little less movable, a little bit more like we can't move and reach and stretch as good as we can when we were younger. So it's just kind of taking our time. You don't want any pain at all. We're going to incorporate some yoga with some of these moves too, and they'll help with our strength, hopefully, with our movement, with our whole body systems all together, and we're going to keep the breathing throughout the whole time too. So I just grabbed a chair. You can also take your phone or Facebook and do it by a countertop. You know, that works really well too, because you can move your joints and hang on to that. You can do it without, but sometimes just having that there, hanging on to it, or hanging on to it here even, it makes you be able to swing a little bit farther because you're balancing throughout, but you have just something to kind of help you stay steady. And then you can also do the other side too. It's amazing. Or turn around and do the other side too. So again, we're going to just kind of incorporate that. Think of it as you can do this by your counter is one really good place to do it. A chair isn't as steady, but for the ones we're going to do, we're going to pretend it's firm like a countertop. Your countertop in your kitchen, I would recommend the most. So we'll do it with this, and sometime I think I will kind of set it up so I can do it along a countertop to show you. But we're going to use it this way, and also when you think about like the back of a chair, lower, higher, that height also works really well. So we'll kind of switch it around a little. Excuse me, I got tickled my throat, that's why I was a little later today. I just brought a rug, the yoga mat. You can use a rug too to stand on. It's best to do most of the yoga with bare feet, because we're going to do some kind of raises and just nice and easy like that also. So comfortable clothes, no pain is allowed. Breathing in, filling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out, pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can with each breath. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. So take your time, listen to how you feel. Deep breath in. So as we're moving for the first couple, just to warm up, then we'll incorporate the chair more. So we're going to take a deep breath in, reaching up as far as you can, and breathe out, bending from the hips, dropping the hands and the arms, excuse me, so the top of your head kind of just stretches toward the floor lightly. You're not very warmed up yet, so really take your time. Don't try to stretch too far at all. Take your time. Knees are a little bit bent. Deep breath in. We're going to put our right foot back, toes out to the side. So our feet are just lined up gently, arms out at the sides. So again, you can always have that chair nearby, or move over a little so you can reach out gently, or the wall if it's close to you. But again, just enough room to stretch out carefully, and only reaching overhead if you feel comfortable. Knee in front is bent. Your vertebrae is lifting you up. Still breathing in, filling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out, pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can with each breath. Breathing in and out through the nostrils to moisten, warm, and also cleanse the air. It cleanses it as it comes in, gets warmed and moistened, works that much better in your body. Deep breath in. We're just going to bring our hands forward. Here we're going to go onto our hands and knees. So again, just take your time. And here we're going to flip our toes, and we're going to press back up into downward facing dog. Only as far as you comfortably can. Your head is below the heart. hips pressing up towards the ceiling. With your head below your heart, it really helps your body pump the blood through the body, oxygen, blood moving through so much stronger. So just take your time, don't overdo. And a deep breath in. We're going to drop down to our knees. And here we're going to flip our toes. We're just going to go forward into Cobra. Here again, only as far as you're comfortable, elbows in, looking up as far as you comfortably can. So you could press the hands down gently or raise them up, but keeping the elbows in. Fine. Looking up as far as you comfortably can. A deep breath in. We'll bring our hands by our shoulders, flip our toes. We're going to press back up into downward facing dog. And again, feet about hip distance apart, hands about shoulder width apart, pressing down equally. And our hips pressing up towards the ceiling. Still breathing in, filling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out, pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can. Deep breath in. We'll bring our right foot forward between our hands. So right foot forward, left foot back. Toes out to the side again as far as you're comfortable. So just opposite of the way we did the first one. And then if you're ready, you can raise your hands overhead. So again, you can always hang onto a chair and only let go as you're comfortable. You want to listen to how you feel. No pain at all is allowed. So breathing in and out through the nostrils, filling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out, pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can. And deep breath in. We'll bring our hands forward toward our front foot. We'll come forward in that forward bend. Again, knees are a little bit soft. Just reaching down as far as you comfortably can. We're starting to warm up very nicely, getting that oxygen flowing. You can even try to stretch a tiny bit, but keep the knees bent just a little bit. Don't go too far. We'll slowly raise up, relax your arms and shoulders, great. So just keep this breathing going throughout. That sun salutation, just doing one side and then coming forward with the other leg to do the other side. Will give you the twists on both sides. It'll give you those forward bends where we're going forward and on the floor, the back bend. So we get all those components to kind of help us balance out, to feel like we're moving all right, kind of getting our body lined up gently, but it's also pressing, kind of scrunching, kind of getting our lymphatic and our blood system to work that much better, bringing more oxygen in as we're breathing to help the blood and oxygen move throughout the body. Also, that stretching, we're kind of stretching through the arms, relaxing too. So we're going to go ahead and do a few moves like you can do on your holding onto your countertop, or this chair is pretty steady. There's ones where you just want to make sure you have something solid to hang on to, especially like if you're doing like a push-up against it, you want to make sure that that countertop can hold you so it's not moving, or you wouldn't do it with just a chair. So first what we're going to do is we're going to just reach forward onto the seat of the chair, kind of walk our feet back, so we're just nice and comfortable, kind of straight up and down. Knees can be a little bit bent. And here we're just going to reach our head through our arms. We're still breathing in, filling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out, pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can. We're breathing in and out through the nostrils with each breath. We're going to slightly raise up. We're going to just bring our feet just maybe not quite a step ahead. And here we're going to do the same thing. Our hips are pressing down a little bit more. But again, you want to hang on to something secure, so you might not move quite that far ahead if you don't have a countertop you're hanging on to. So you can see, you probably will feel that stretch a little more behind the backs of the legs. And now we're going to go back upright just gently, and now we're going to step back a little farther than we started. We kind of started pretty straight up and down. We're just going to move back a little bit more. And here we're going to stretch, and you'll feel it more through like the ribs, up toward the arms and shoulders. And then relax forward again. So you're kind of neutral, kind of nice and comfortable. Here we're going to just bring one arm, we're just going to reach it down toward our feet, kind of toward the leg, not too far out, just kind of toward the legs. Doesn't have to touch, whatever feels comfortable. Then we'll bring it back up, and now flatten your back just gently. Now the other hand coming down, and again, only kind of going toward the outside of the foot a little bit, not much. And then we'll raise it back up, great. The next one we're going to do again, you can have the countertop you're hanging onto or the back of a pretty sturdy chair. So we're going to do this time, so the countertop would normally be a little closer here, but I'm just going to put it here. All you're going to do is you're going to bend your knees, sitting back, a little closer, so you're sitting back, and you can see mostly the front of your feet looking down. So here all we're going to do is raise up to our toes and back down. Raise up to our toes and back down. Raise up to your toes, back down. Again, nice and easy. So you're kind of working your calves and lower legs, also your hips. You're kind of stretching through your ankles, your Achilles tendons and back just a little. Do maybe two more if you can. As you're hanging on, or you can just hang on with one arm, whatever you'd like, you're going to just raise up on your toes. So nice and easy. Just raising up as far as you can and back down. So raise as far as you can. Back down. We're going to still be breathing, filling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out, pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can. Still breathing in and out through the nostrils. So because we're kind of pumping by raising up and down, we're working our calves to help pump that blood, your lymphatic fluid through you, also kind of stretching a little. So the next one we're going to do, again, just take your time. We're just going to swing our leg forward and back. So just as back as far as you can go. And you can tell, try it without hanging on. But sometimes just hanging on to this lets you kind of bring it forward and back a little gentler, a little more gently. Again, take your time. And then you can either switch sides, turn around and do the other side. Again, just nice and easy. And we're not always completely even on each side. Sometimes one leg you can swing a little higher. Just go with the flow, how you feel. Don't force it. one we're going to do again, taking your time, just listening to how your body is feeling. We're going to go ahead and we're going to bend our knees and we're going to raise up and back down. So raise up, back down, raise up, back down. Almost like you're bringing it up and just flipping it away. Up and then flip the arms away. Great. You can add a toe raise when you come up if you'd like. But you don't have to, because I always feel like I'm going to lose my balance. But yeah, just nice and easy. Great. So the next one again, taking your time, still breathing in lower abdominals and stomach. And breathing out, pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can. Still breathing in and out through the nostrils. You're going to get so much more volume and air coming in to really work through your body, just as though you're almost jogging or running or doing aerobics. So really take your time and adjust to how you feel. Like if you have a tight shoulder, you may just come down and only come up part way, but you're still going to get the knees bending, reaching back a little. So again, listen to how you feel always. So I'm hanging onto the chair again. And so this time, we're just going to put our left foot back, right? Left foot ahead, right one back, kind of lining up our knees over our hips. So they're not behind, kind of in an angle, just as comfortably as you can. And all you're going to do here is just raise up and down. Nice and easy. And it can be just a tiny movement. Breathe out as you come down, maybe in, going up. Breathe out. Or you can do the opposite. Breathe out, going down, in, going up. It doesn't have to be too low. Nice and easy. It's kind of stretching through this psoas muscle, through our legs and thighs. Now we'll switch the other side. So again, you can turn around and do it, or just switch sides. Again, nice and easy. Breathe out, going down. It kind of helps tighten the stomach a little. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. And again, you can keep your mouth closed as you breathe in and out through the nostrils if you're comfortable. Once in a while, our allergies will kick up and it'll be hard to breathe in and out through the nostrils as much. But again, you want to kind of work toward that as much as you're comfortable. So again, take your time. Great, so nice and stretch. The next one we're going to do, and again, you can always hang onto the counter if you'd like, is just going to be reaching overhead. So sometimes if you're hanging onto that counter, you can reach a little farther, but again, don't overdo. You can also put your hand by your side, either press against the leg or let it hang down. And then here we're going to stretch just a tiny bit farther and back up. Great. So through the other side, again, relax. Feet are pressing down, vertebrae lifting you up. So you can turn around and hang into that chair if you'd like yet. And we're just going to do the other side. And again, you can hang onto the wall or have turned around hanging onto that chair. Stretch a little bit more and back up. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. And relax your neck, head. Sometimes I just kind of like to shake just to feel a little more centered back again. Kind of lets all that tightness go. So again, take your time. So the next one we're going to do is we're not going to hang onto the chair, but just make sure you have room. So we're just going to bend down, and you can either do both arms at the same time, or you can hang onto the chair, do one at a time to kind of rotate that shoulder. If, say, it's a little tight in one area, you may just rotate it farther down. But again, you really adjust it to how you feel. You can do the other one. Maybe that one works a little better as you turn around and do where you'd like to hang on yet. You can do the other one. And again, nice and easy. Take your time. Or you can do both at the same time. So adjust it, do each side about as many times as you do on each side. But then you also would want to Make sure that you take your time. Don't overdo. You might adjust one side, so maybe this arm is okay, this arm is not as good, but I can still do it with no pain. So again, no pain is allowed. Not at all. All right, so we're going to relax our arms, bring our feet together again, and take your time. So like if you have the countertop or just a regular chair or your couch. Couch is too low, but the countertop, if you can kind of rest your arms, so the countertop normally is about this high. So just think about also resting your forehead on the countertop. You can also put your chin on, because you're getting kind of like a back bend instead of straight out stretching. You're going to just look up as far as you're comfortable. Rest your head. Again, chin toward your arms or on your arms, looking up and back to your forehead. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Again, bring your chin up. You're arching your back, kind of in that back bend. So it's going more like that, getting that nice back bend in. Now you're just going to raise up, like you're bringing the top of your head toward your arms, and then back, and then to your chin. Raise top of your head toward your arms, reach up, relax back, and now your chin. So you're really getting a nice stretch along the back of the legs. You're getting your forward bend, or backward bend, and the twist side to side as we're doing like the turns, or we're doing, instead of like this, we're doing a twist forward for the lunges very gently. So you can really incorporate that building, strengthening the legs and thighs, helping your heels and ankles incorporate as you're hanging on and doing those little raises. You can do them either farther apart like a plie. Do that kind of facing the counter, which kind of helps with your balance. And all you're going to do, for my hip, it's a little easier, a little farther apart than forward. So instead of a wide squat, just like a plie. And you're going to just, again, you can hang on to the countertop to raise up and down, or just lower. And you don't have to raise up off your heels at all. It's more about bending, sitting back a little bit, taking your time. So breathing in and out through your nostrils. Just take your time. So again, the next one we're going to do again is kind of, again, stretching a little bit each direction. Listen to your body. So if you want to, you can have your hands on here. Feet are kind of straight ahead like on skis. And all you're going to do is lean one side, straight back up, and then the other. Just stretching. You can use one hand on your hip if you'd like. Or as you reach, just a little bit of support. So just kind of stretching each way. You can come more forward, or toes can be pointed out to the side. Again, you find what works better for you. You're just kind of stretching your inner outer thigh. Again, we're strengthening gently, and still breathing in. Filling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out and pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can. So just relax your arms, your legs. Great. So the next one we're going to do, we're just going to finish up with the last balancing postures. Next Wednesday, I hope to do most everything on the floor. This week it was mostly standing up using either the countertop or a chair that's pretty sturdy. So what we're going to do first is the tree. Think of the vertebrae nice and tall, lifting you up. Shoulders relaxed and back. Bring your right knee to the side, placing it on the floor by the ankle, below the knee or above, but not right on, and raising the other arm up. So again, you can have a chair nearby or counter to hang on to and only let go as you'd like. And you can also raise both if you'd like. Focus the head on an object. It helps so much with our balance. If you see me moving or anything, And even listening to me talk can make it a little bit more unsteady. So listen to your body. Don't press too far. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Feeling the lower abdominals and stomach. Relax. Great. We'll do the other side. We're lifting up nice and tall. Left knee to the side, placing the foot on the floor by the ankle, below the knee or above. Raising one arm or both. And again, you can always hang on to the wall or countertop or chair. Back of the chair kind of around is kind of nice because it's a little bit higher for the back of the chair. But again, listen to how you feel. Focus ahead. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Feeling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out, pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can. And relax back. Great. This one we're going to do is, again, you can hang onto the counter if you'd like. Deep breath in, nice and tall. You can hang onto the countertop or chair. So you're going to just raise your right leg back as you come forward. So you can keep the arms out straight, or you can hang onto the chair lightly. And you're just thinking of your body kind of straight, stretching out, and arms stretching out to the sides. Breathing in and out through the nostrils with each breath. You can always have the foot near the floor if you want to help kind of keep your balance and only raise it again as far as you comfortably can. We're going to do the other side, of course. So again, one side might not be as balanced or easy to do as the other. So just adjust. So again, here, arms out to the side, or you can hang onto the countertop or chair. Our left leg is going back as we come forward. And again, listen to how you feel. Breathing in and out through the nostrils with each breath. Feeling lower abdominals and stomach. Breathing out. Pressing as much air out of the lower abdominals as you can. Deep breath in and slowly raise back up. So again, just kind of play with it. Take your time. Sometimes it may just be raising it back. And sometimes you may be raising it up just a little and bringing the upper body forward. But again, just kind of take your time. Adjust what feels best. And just work with that. Trying to do it a few times a week is really wonderful with yoga. If you do like a 45-minute to an hour one, those benefits and the breathing and everything and the stretching help you through the whole week. Like even doing a 1-hour session each week. Huge for the way it helps your body, strengthens, helps your stretching, your body reaching, all the muscles working together, all your systems in your body also working together. So we're going to end with the chair. So again, just taking your time. We're going to keep our feet just where you're comfortable, pressing down, vertebrae lifting you up. Deep breath in. We'll bring our arms up forward as our hips press back. Almost like they would check, like if the seat of the chair was behind me and I was going to sit on it. You're just looking up as far as you comfortably can. Still breathing in and out through the nostrils. Look up as far as you comfortably can. Okay, you can always relax back up and then go back again where you're comfortable. Just play with it and do how it feels right. Because if you're trying to force it or do too much or go too far, you only either hurt yourself or really not like it. So really, deep breath in, coming up. Do it to where you like it, how you like it. You know, you can even hang on to this countertop, so it would be right around here. But if I was doing it on a countertop, you could bring one knee in and do some stretches back. Bring it forward as far as you can, kind of rounding back. Forward, kind of rounding forward, reaching back, looking up. So you can do it different ways to get that mobility, have the safety of that counter or chair. Again, reach out, pull in, reach out, pull in. So there's so so many things you can do with the counter right close to you to help you balance, help you try it, help you even with that countertop, going back a little farther and doing your push-ups, coming in and out. So many great things to have that help of that little bit of balance, even hanging onto the sink, going back, hanging on into the sink, and just pressing back and up. So you can almost help go down a little lower as you're hanging on the sink, pulling forward, and bring yourself up with your own strength, not hanging up or pulling as much, to play with it and see what works for you. So think of the breathing through the day. Relax your shoulders, your neck, your back. Even a little self-massages where you're just kind of rubbing like along the spine back, not right on it, but each side going up behind your ears, letting that kind of work out, kind of just giving yourself those tiny massages, or kind of how we're cold, we kind of rub our arms, give yourself a hug. So really think of the day, things to kind of help your stomach and body move, even doing circles and then doing wider ones to keep your body limbered and loose, even pulling one foot back and hanging on to the wall or chair, and then the other one, and you can hang on to the pant leg. Just think of the body nice and tall. So many different things to kind of let you loosen up, just reaching up and reaching back. All those things help our body align a little better, strengthen all our bigger muscles, and also the little ones attaching them to help them feel stronger, help them work together better, and hopefully loosen out any tightness. So really listen to how your body works. And really, if you think about it, watch what you're eating each day, kind of adding more water through the day to keep your body hydrated. It really helps you work that much better, because if you drink a lot of water in the morning, then you forget you don't have hardly anything today. You're becoming, your body isn't saturating and using that water to pull everything through. It's getting dehydrated, it's getting like stopped almost. And when you finally drink, it gets things going a little better. So hydrating through the day if you can, or hydrating really good in the morning because you haven't drank all night, and then try to drink those on your breaks or at lunch at least before, half hour before you eat, to hydrate and let the water soak in and goes into your body before you eat, so that you can eat and your digestive juices can work on your meal. Kind of just spread it out during the day of the water. Kind of take your time, do some movement. Really good to get out and have some sunshine on you, especially earlier in the day. Kind of get your circadian rhythm going to keep you set. So maybe at nighttime you sleep a little better. It's just those little things you do through the day. In the end, you'll start to have them become habits, so that you see what the differences are, how much better you feel, maybe a little bit lighter. And also really think about changing things around your narrative of your life. We may think too much on the worry. It shows you care, but the worry or thinking things over that it's going to happen, maybe it'll be that, how am I going to get through peak with the hectic times? What's going to happen? If you can just think of each day getting a little bit more done, so that by the time you have a few days with longer hours, or you're working the 6 days possibly coming up. I know it sounds impossible. I used to have more dread, but I really do try to think about, this is all helping. We're all working together. Drink more water, maybe get a few things ready. If you're seated or in a place that's kind of cool, maybe even a little bit of a warm blanket. Or if you're working out, really working hard, more comfortable shoes maybe you might want to work to have, so that you don't hurt your knees back doing those hard jobs. So packing too, just that drinking, rehydrating, trying not to let the stress kind of overwhelm us. Try to be thankful that we're all here, that we are maybe able to get to work and everything, but I know it's hard, but anything you can do to try to do a little bit of a switch to a little more positive um, feeling about things, even if it's here and there, just throw in like, I'm so glad that maybe I got to see a family member. I'm so glad that I'm able to work with these people, or I'm so glad that I'm awake this morning. All those things hopefully can add up to kind of spinning it more toward the positive and not down more negative, because your body feels that. Your body soaks it in and starts to really feel negative and achy, and it's hard to kind of switch that. So little by little, maybe it's a funny story or a good joke or looking at some old photo albums, or maybe you reach out to someone that night when you get home. So again, do things for yourself. Be kind to yourself and not so judgmental. Take care of yourself too. So thanks for joining. Bye.